Namaskaram, Guruji. Guruji, you said that
Little closer, if you can hold it this way.
only less than 1% of the people tap into their genius. You have always told us that turn inward. So, how do we turn inward and what do we look at?
No, I didn't get that. Can you hold the microphone like
I'm saying that only 1% of the genius, only 1% of the people tap into their genius. And you say that you need to turn inward to tap into their genius. How do we turn inward and what do we see?
Well, there are two things mixed up in this. To unfold human genius, you need both external ambience and internal ambience. Internal ambience is just this: you must come to ease. You must come to total ease with life. Most people are going like this all the time. You have to come to ease. Coming to ease means, somebody was asking me in one of the colleges, how do we know we are at ease? In the yoga center, we have a cobra test. You know about this already, huh? You already know about it?
Some of them.
Some of them know. See, most of the venomous creatures are like this, particularly cobras are like this, and the bees are like that, and even the spiders are like that. They don't see you, they don't hear you much. Cobras are stone deaf, snakes are mostly stone deaf, they can't hear a thing. But they feel your chemistry. If you go into the forest and just pick up a cobra like this, not holding by the head and all that, simply like this, he will simply come without any reaction. I think you saw… showed a quick image there where I'm holding a king cobra in my hand, not by the head, just like this. He's not a pet, he's a wild snake, okay? He was with us only for 2 days, then we left him in the mountains because he came there, I caught him. So, if a king cobra bites you, it'll give you somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes to live. He has enough venom to kill an elephant, okay? That king cobra that you saw is nearly 13 feet long. He has enough venom to kill an elephant. But I'm holding him like this, he's simply there. Because he only sensing your chemistry. If you show a little bit of anxiety, he'll go for you. Because he senses danger. Your anxiety is danger for him. So we can put you through a cobra test whether you have come to ease or not. Even if you come to ease, whether the social situation will allow you to explore your genius or not, that is also there. When you have a very dogmatic social structure around you, when you have very dogmatic religions around you, then they won't allow you to explore your genius. They will make sure that you stick to the norms that they've established. So, creating a social ambience and an internal ambience is important. I think today you can escape from any kind of dogmatic situations or compulsive situations around you, you can leave that place. It was not possible to leave that place 100, 200 years ago. But today, if you find a situation is completely not conducive for your way of existence, you can leave that place and transport yourself to another place and live there, isn't it? This was not possible in the past. But now, you have to come to ease. But today, whole lot of you are taking pride, you're looking at your lack of attention, your stress like qualifications. I'm stressed. It's supposed to be a qualification or what? It's almost become like this, especially I'm seeing in the management sector. If you're a CEO, at least you must have an ulcer. Otherwise, you're not a good CEO, you're not working hard enough. This is because we are thinking stress is a natural phenomena. No, stress is just your inability to handle your own system. Yes? You do not know how to handle your body, how to handle your chemistry, how to handle your thought, your emotion, and you're calling this is happening because of something else. No. Outside situations, people will create the way they know life. It's for you to create the inner situations the way you want it, isn't it? The world will never happen 100% your way, never ever. But at least this one person must happen your way, isn't it so? Right now, this person is not happening your way, that's the big problem. The reason why I'm here today is to see, to provide tools or technologies for well-being, so that at least within yourself you're the way you want to be. If you had a choice as to how to be within yourself, would you choose to be joyful or miserable? You must tell me right now, I'm going to bless you.
Joyful.
Choice for yourself is very clear, isn't it? If there is a choice between pleasantness and unpleasantness, you want pleasantness for yourself. What you want for your neighbor may be debatable. But what you want for yourself is 100% clear. Coming to ease, there are many ways. This question can be asked, ease means people will say peace. This happened, can I tell you a joke?
Yes.
Are you okay? Because many of you looking so serious, I'm wondering. In JNU, there are jokes or only serious? Hello?
All the time, jokes.
Okay. So, Shankaran Pillai was an abusive husband. He was always abusing his wife, sometimes physical abuse, sometimes sexual abuse, sometimes verbal abuse on a daily basis, everything. But the wife was always just calm, undisturbed. One day he freaked on her, but she was undisturbed. Then he asked, how do you do this? I'm abusing you. Every day I say something nasty, some days I do something nasty to you, but I've never seen you throwing up. You're always peaceful. How do you do it? She said, I clean the toilet. What? If I abuse you, you clean the toilet? She says, yes. If you abuse me, I clean the toilet. When I physically abuse you, she said, I will clean 2 toilets. If I sexually abuse you, she said, I'll clean all the toilets in the house. But cleaning a toilet, how does it keep you peaceful? She said, I use your toothbrush. There are many ways of handling it.
We now, there are hundreds of students outside the auditorium, so we'll now take up a question from outside.
Hello sir, my name is Mohammad Akmal and I'm a student of JNU. My question to you is that I have some other question in my mind, but right now my question is that you said when you were in United States, you always said there that India is the biggest living democracy. But now after 4 years you have stopped saying this. What made you to stop saying this thing now? Why you have stopped saying this, that now we are not the biggest living democracy?
No, I think you're taking 4 years literally. Not because of these 4 years. I am seeing we are also getting organized like United States. Either I am a Republican or a Democrat. My father was a Republican, my grandfather was a Republican, so I am also a Republican. This is what a Republican said. Then another person asked, a Democrat asked him, suppose your father was a jackass and your grandfather was a jackass, what would you be? He said, I would be a Democrat. So, United States was unfortunately divided like this for last few decades. But that was not so in India. But now I would say in the last probably 10 years or so, it's becoming so vitiated, everybody belongs to some party. This is destruction of democracy. Everybody should look at it, not before. 3 months before election, you should start evaluating what have these people done. Have they done something for the nation? have they not done something for the nation? Should you give them another chance or should you not give them another chance? Is something that you must evaluate just before election, not right through the 5 years. There's no sense to that. You must evaluate according to your intelligence. Today there's information, all right? There is enough information. Using that information according to your intelligence, not driven by your peers, not driven by your party, not driven by your father or grandfather who was a jackass, by your intelligence, according to your understanding, you must vote. Only then this franchise has some meaning. This is why secret ballot. Already we decided this is right, this is left. What is the point of voting? We already know we can just count you straight away. The entire exercise of election, it is one of the largest phenomena on the planet, Indian election process. It's a phenomenal and fantastic process. It reaches the remotest village in the country and it's reasonably organized, believe me. In spite of all the chaos, it is pretty well organized. And what is the point if well beforehand, 5 years ago itself I am determined which party I am going to vote to, what is the point of this exercise? What is the point of a secret ballot? The idea is nobody should know who you voted for, isn't it? It's very important if you want to keep democracy.
Sadhguru looks in complete mood to continue this conversation. However, we are running very low on time, so probably we'll take just one more question from the audience and we close the event.
Hello, Sadhguru. My name is Tamanna.
Little louder, please.
My question to you is, we see quite a generation gap between our generation and our parents' generation, and it sometimes so happens that
Hey, no, not me, huh? No gap between you and me. I'm much younger than you.
It sometimes so happens that we want something out of our life and they don't necessarily agree with it and we end up in a conflict. And we sometimes even curb our desires just to see them happy. So how do we deal with that conflict?
See, please sit down, thank you. This is not a problem with your generation. This is a problem, unfortunately, with every generation. I think it's very silly that every generation has the same problem. If we are in a learning mode, at least we must have a new problem, isn't it? Every generation has the same problem. Though they were also youth just 25, 30 years ago, somehow they suddenly act like they landed, just like as they are today. So, because your parents are not here, I can't talk to them, so we'll talk to you. If you want to craft your life the way you want, and what you want, if it's not in concurrence with your parents or the society in which you live in or the university in which you're studying, it can happen. What you choose may not be in line not only with your parents' choices, may not be in line with your peers' choices, may not be in line with the institution's choices, may not be in line with the society in which you live. So if you want to do your own thing, you must understand there will be a price to pay. Only thing you're complaining about is how to have what I want without paying a price. There is no such life. If you want to do what you want, and if what you want is not in line with the larger interests of what is around you, then they will make you pay a price. If what you want means so much to you, you must pay the price. But if you find the price is too much for what little you want to do, you will step back naturally. It is like going to the market, you know. You went and want to buy a few flowers, that guy says 2,000 bucks. For flowers? You say, no, I want flowers, but no, because he's asking too big a price. This is so with every step in our life. When we want to do something, there will be a price attached to it. We must evaluate, do I want to pay this price? What I want, does it mean so much to me that I'm willing to pay this price? Or I'm not willing to pay this price? This is individual. There is no standard treatment for everybody. This is individual. Some people want it so badly, they're willing to pay any price. For some people, it's a passing interest, so they will drop it and they'll go on. There's nothing wrong with both. Both are fine.
The questions are interesting and intriguing. So we'll
Hey,
ask
you didn't
Sadhguru-
say anything about the answers, huh?
And we do not disagree about the answers.
She's
They were-
only praising JNU, she's leaving me out.
Isn't that my primary duty? Sadhguru, if we can take some more because we all are buzzing with questions
I'm
in our
okay,
heads.
I'm okay.
Anima,
All right.
can I take? Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Not like this, like you've seen Lady Gaga?
Sadhguru, my question is regarding the education system, which is followed everywhere, especially in India. Your Lordship, sorry, I'm a lawyer. So, Sadhguru, my question is, what exactly is the ideal education system that we should have in a country so that we can explore every dimension of life, keeping intact the material needs of the country, everyone who are there around? Thank you.
See, there is no such system that you can create in a limited amount of time that human life is, and that too, education is a certain part of our life. To create that you can experience every dimension of life for everybody, no, it won't work like that. Somebody is interested in academics, they should go one way. Somebody just wants to earn a living, they must go another way. Somebody else has some other kind of skills, they must go another way. I think early on, I'm saying at the age of 12, by 12, everybody is reasonably literate. They can read at least one or two languages in this country, 2 languages. You can read English language and you can read your local language, whatever your mother tongue is. These 2 languages you can read and grasp what is written in a paper. To this level, we must bring every child before they're 12. We should not cramp them with too many things, just language and perception. What I read, I understand, that's all. This capability if you bring by 12, then you can do evaluation, who should go for skill-based thing, who should go for little higher level of expertise in the same skills, who should go for academic pursuits. This needs to happen. If this doesn't happen, everybody is being pushed through the extruder of academics. People are just committing suicide, not 1 or 2. In 2016, some 17,600 youth below 18 years of age commit suicide. 7,000 and odd are below 15 years of age. If 12, 13, 14-year-old boys and girls start killing themselves, are we not doing something fundamentally wrong in our society? Hello?
Yes.
Not grown-up people. 12, 13-year-old boys and girls who must be exuberant life, at that time they want to take their life, obviously we are doing something very fundamentally wrong, isn't it? And unfortunately, 90% of these suicides are education-related. Few other things are family, something else, some other issues. But 90% of them are education-related. Definitely, we need to revisit this education as to how to do education. We are trying to put everybody through the same process. Not everybody is equipped to go through the same process. It's very important. It's most, cruel way of handling a child.
Namaste, I'm from outside.
Where are you? Oh.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. First is, how do we choose a good career? And secondly, what do you think basically, how is technology or more specifically artificial intelligence helping in education?
Okay. We'll answer the second question first because in the last 2 years, people are inviting me to speak in all kinds of international conferences about artificial intelligence. When they first invited me, I didn't understand, why am I being invited? I said, I am not an artificial intelligence, I am a natural intelligence. Why are you calling me for artificial intelligence? Then they said their problem is, everybody is worrying if artificial intelligence comes, we will lose our jobs. I said, that means you're going to have a holiday, which you're always looking for. What is the problem if the machine does all the work on this planet? How fantastic it is for human beings, I think if machines start doing all the menial jobs, already just see, suppose everything that you have built in this JNU, let's say you were building it, you had to just build it with a pickaxe and a crowbar, how much work it would have taken? Because machines and other things have come, how much work has been taken off? Because of that, your intelligence has found more opportunity. If you were just wielding a crowbar, only your muscles would have grown. So now, right now, most of the work that you're doing and most of education that you're teaching in this world is essentially about gathering of data. Accumulate data, analyze it, assimilate it in a certain way and throw it at people in different ways. This you call as education. But now this Google lady she knows more than anybody around you, yes? She seems to know everything. You ask her anything without batting an eyelid she's telling you any damn thing in the world, yes or no? So, a time is coming, it's just a question of 5–10 years, where what you will learn in 5 years of research, a machine will process it. If you feed the data, it will process it and tell you in 5 minutes. This happened to me when I was very young. For the first time, I saw a calculator, a Panasonic or a Sony calculator. At that time, it was just around 100 rupees, a flatbed calculator. Probably you've not seen such basic calculators today. It was very simple. Then first time they showed me, tuk, arithmetic, chuck. Then the first thing I thought was, then why the hell am I going to this stupid math class? If this damn machine can add for me, multiply for me, divide for me, cos theta, sin theta, everything, why the hell are they torturing me with this? I said, just give me this one thing, I won't come to the math class. I'll give you all the answers you want. Give me any problem, I'll give you the answer. It took so many years, over 45–50 years. Now, that calculator has become so complex, it knows more than you can know in your entire lifetime. It's great, isn't it? It's great, absolutely great, because as physical work was taken away from you by the machines, physical machines, mechanical machines, now your intellectual work is being taken away by another kind of machine. I think it's fantastic time coming. You don't have to bother about gathering information, processing it, struggling with, misinterpreting it, misunderstanding it. Nothing, everything processed and it'll come out clean. Now what will the human beings do? That's a big question. This is what the caveman also thought when you showed him an earth mover. What will I do if this earth mover comes? Well, that caveman is probably in JNU now Yes, if there was no machines, you would be also moving a rock somewhere, isn't it? Because mechanical machines came, today you are in the university. Tomorrow, if an intellectual machine comes, anything that you can do in terms of data processing in your intellect, machines will do better than you in the next 5 to 10 years' time. And it will not be one big supercomputer, it'll be in your pocket. It'll be that small a small machine which will do more than all these brains put together in terms of intellectual assimilation of things. Information, assimilation and projection. This the machine will do better than you, it'll give you permutations and combinations. All research done in 3 days. You put the data, boom, it will tell you what is the conclusion. So people are worried they will lose their jobs. I'm glad they will lose their jobs because I think a great time is coming for humanity that we don't have to do physical work, we don't have to do intellectual work. Only now you will explore other dimensions of intelligence within the human being. Intellect is only the surface of your intelligence. I know this may gather a lot of… Will you give me 2 minutes to explain this? Because what you call as intellect is called buddhi in the yogic culture. Buddhi, your intellect, I'll ask you a question, those of you who are awake and asleep, you must answer this question. If I ask you, you want a sharp intellect or a dull intellect, what's your choice? Sharp. So obviously, intellect is a cutting instrument, isn't it? You want it sharp like a knife. Now, what is happening with our education system and the way we're building the society is, we are using a knife to do everything. Somehow, this is coming to me quite a few times in the last few months, because I think once again, after many years, I'm once again riding motorcycles much more than what I have done in the last 30 years. So these memories are coming back to me. I was riding all over the country without any purpose, simply end to end, till I hit the national border, I went and then turned back and rode in another direction. I just only calculated the money I had in my pocket and the kilometers to cover, okay? So one of those… sometimes, this is something for you to do research on, is there are times when I rode 3 nights and 3 days continuously, without hitting anything, without falling drowsy or sleepy, anything. I did certain things with my system because somebody… you asked the question, can semen be transformed into something? If you do certain things with your system, it gets energized to such a level of alertness that 3 nights and 3 days, those days when roads were what they were and motorcycle was just 250cc SD, okay, Java motorcycle. It's not like today, some big stuff, and it's not like highways, 4-lane highways, nothing. All single roads full of potholes, backbreaking. But I would ride continuously up to 72 hours to 75 hours non-stop. Only gas station to gas station, gas station to gas station. So one night I'm riding full night and I'm somewhere in… I'm not very sure where, somewhere between Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Early morning I came and parked near a dhaba, thought I'll have a tea and rest for some time and move on. My chain had become slack. I don't know if you all still motorcycle or you're all metro people. So, I never allow anybody to touch my motorcycle because I'm always on it, so I don't trust anybody, I do everything myself from engine work to everything. But chain had become slack, I was sitting there, full night of riding. Then I saw Mubarak Mechanical Works, handwritten sign. I saw this and I saw a strapping young youth. I said, hey, can you tighten my chain? Because tightening a chain is not some great technology, but hands become messy. So I thought, let him do it for me. So then he said yes, and he came full enthusiasm. Then I saw in his hands, he just had a chisel and a hammer. I said, wait, what are you doing? She said, no, I can do it. I said, wait, you don't have any tools? Then I walked into his little shack, which is his garage. I went inside, there are only a few chisels and bigger and smaller hammers. This guy does everything with a chisel and hammer. Maybe he can do it, but after he does it, that's the last time you're going to fix that machine again. After that, it's done, okay? I said, you don't touch my motorcycle. Why I'm saying this is, right now our education system is like this. We are doing everything with one dimension of our intelligence, which is the intellect. Intellect is good only if it's sharp, otherwise it's no good. If you use a sharp instrument to do everything, then obviously you will be in tatters. This is why People are 30, 40, 50, 60 years of age, they still don't know how to handle their thought and emotion. When are you going to learn? Are you going to live for 10,000 years or so? When is it that you're going to learn how to handle your thought and emotion? You may call this stress, you may call this anxiety, you may call this misery, you may call this madness. Essentially, you do not know how to handle your own thought and emotion, that's all, isn't it so? This is because you're going on one wheel of intelligence. There are many wheels of intelligence, only one wheel is spinning, others are all stuck or you never explode. So it's very important that if artificial intelligence comes, everything that you can do intellectually, a little machine will do. Now, I think human beings will explore other dimensions. I think I will become very significant. The sooner the artificial intelligence comes, the more significant I will become. Because then they will come, what else can I do? There are many more things you can do.
I am Kimsi Sonkar and I am a…
Where are you? Oh, on the screen, okay.
Yeah. I am sitting outside. I am a PhD scholar in JNU and I always have an ethical dilemma that that when I eat the mess food, it is always not in the standard of like, we get the mood of eating, we don't want to eat, and I end up wasting a lot of food. So I want a solution. How do I make up my mind to eat the food which I feel I don't like at all? Because I see that there are people dying for a single grain of food and I am here wasting food, getting all the facilities, but still I can't eat that food. However hard I try to sell the mess worker that please put little bit. So…
If you want a demo how you should eat this mess food,
if you can.
yeah, if you want a demo, you must take me out for dinner today at your mess.
Sadhguru, the mess timings are already over, unfortunately.
I'm too late for that. This is like this. You know, in any institution, this is always a problem. Even children in our school, though we do a lot of variety of food for them, children complaining about the food. I remember when my daughter was studying in a school, I go there as a parent, as a guest, to stay in the school for 3 days, twice a year. I just love the food in the school. I eat much more in the school than I would eat anywhere else. She just can't eat it. She just curses it every day, it smells the same, I can't eat this. I think this is a problem in every institution, it doesn't matter what kind of food you give, this issue is there. But I think a whole lot of people are complaining in their homes also, all right? So, I think one thing you can do is, I don't know if it's possible, I'm taking the liberty of saying this, the Vice Chancellor is here, it's a suggestion, not a thing. One thing you should do is, maybe some of you should form teams that you will go and participate in the kitchen, maybe 1 week in a year, different people, at least you will know whom to curse. Right-wing parties, left-wing parties, if they cook, at least who is cooking better? Maybe things will happen, chemistry will happen if they cook well.
Sadhguru, every time I come to know of a feat achieved or the great ability of a role model, there is an instinctive aspiration to encompass that and to achieve that for myself as well. But then with it comes the formidability of the profoundness of the ambition. So what is the right approach for such ambitions in life?
See, this role model business is a very Western idea that we've taken on to. Every human being is made in a unique way. It's very important, every human being explores what is so unique about us and how to find expression to the intelligence that we are. If we try to do what somebody else is doing, then one thing is, maybe it's easy because it's like a set path, already they've done it, so I want to do the same thing, it's easy to do it. But you're saying that is also formidable. But the beauty of life is that you explore the full potential of who you are, not do better than somebody or do what somebody else has done. You being better than somebody is not of any consequence. Or you being like somebody else is also of no consequence. No two human beings can ever be equated in body and mind, isn't it so? Hello? You can never, ever equate two people in mind and body. This is one kind, that's another kind, absolutely unique. Never ever these two things are going to be same, do what you want. So this is the beauty of being a human being. Don't destroy that by trying to imitate somebody. Imitation we should have left in the previous stage of our evolution, you know. We should have left it there, but this thing about creating role models has been built up because, you know, there is a whole school of American thought where they're always telling you how to manage your life, how to eat, how to manage your industry, how to manage your business, how to do this, how to keep your hair, everything standardized. No, one person's hair and another person's hair are different. It can't be kept the same way, isn't it? Hello? It cannot be kept the same way. Forget about the head, even the hair. Hair is also unique, isn't it? So, people keep asking me, Sadhguru, you became like this, who is your role model? I tell them, see, I never rolled with models, so don't ask me such things. This role model business you leave, all of you, young people, you must do this in some way. You find a place which is supportive but not influencing you. No influence from the peers, no influence from your professors, no influence from your parents, no influence from society. Such a place you choose where you're well supported in terms of food and whatever. Spend at least 3 to 10 days, depending on what you need, and look at it, what is it that you genuinely want to do in your life? Is your life precious, I'm asking you? Yes. Is your life precious? Yes. If this is a precious life, in what do you want to invest this life? Please consider this. Don't do something that somebody else is doing. If this is a precious life, where do I want to invest this life? It is not a question of profession, it's not a question of becoming like somebody, it's not a question of earning or living like somebody, it is a question of what do I want to make out of this life? Where do I want to invest this life, in what? So look at this in as profoundly as you can. Today if you're taking a call on something, you look at it in 25 years, will it still mean something to you, whatever you're planning to do today? In 50 years, will it still mean something to you? At the end of your life, if you look back, will you die a fulfilled human being? This is something you must consider, because this is your life and you said it's precious. If it's a precious life, it needs a certain amount of consideration and attention. Don't do what somebody else is doing, that's not the way to conduct your life.
Dear audience, we understand your urge to ask questions, but we'll take just one last question.
Hello Sadhguru. First of all, namaskaram. I'm a Hindu by birth, not by choice. So basically I'm an agnostic kind of person. So my question is, like, we all have been encountering a statement everywhere, like on social media and in our day-to-day life, that our religion is in danger. First of all, this question comes in my mind since my childhood: what is religion? And the other thing, how is it in danger? And is it necessary to have a religion at all?
See, let's take a few minutes, he's asked a
Sure,
question.
sure.
See, I want you to look back on this nation and see what is the context of this nation. If you look back on the history of this country, there was a time when there were over 200 political entities, kings, I mean, many small kingdoms, big empires. Sometimes certain kings came and conquered and made it into larger empire, sometimes it broke into small. Largely it was been somewhere between 100 to 250 nations within one geography of what we call as Indian subcontinent today. But though there were so many political nations, people from outside always called this land as Hindustan. Yes? Even now, if you go to Arabia, let's say Lebanon and Jordan and these kind of places, you will find thousands of women in Lebanon are still taking the name Hind. It's their name, because in their language, Hind means India. I asked them, first time when I went, I was surprised. Why are you taking name India? I mean, in Lebanon, why are you Indian? They say, no, this is our culture. We always connected with India. Probably these people are somebody who went long time ago. They become part of that culture and they look like that, everything is like that. Must have been thousands of years ago. They must have been homesick. When you're homesick, you call your daughter India. So at least I can call India, India every day because I'm missing my country So that tradition is still there. But even then they called Hind or Hindustan, though we were many nations within this subcontinent. Oh, okay. So why did they call this nation Hindustan is, one thing is it's a geographical identity. The land that lies between Himalayas and the Indus-Sagara, which is today called as Indian Ocean, they call this Hindustan. Himalaya and Indus-Sagara, between that is Hindustan. So geographical identity was given, but not political identity, not language identity, not religious identity. This is very significant because they could not figure out who the hell we were even then. As even today, you can't figure out who the hell you are, that's why you're asking this question. Even then, the same question as your Vice-Chancellor asked, Sadhguru, would you answer the question, who am I? So we still can't figure out who the hell we are because this has been a land of seeking, never a land of belief. If you want a religion, essentially when somebody says, I'm religious, they always say, I'm a believer, isn't it? Let's explore this word belief. How many of you believe you have two hands? All of such people just at least raise one hand, please. Do you believe you have two hands or do you know you have two hands? You know. If somebody starts an argument with you and tries to prove to you you have no two hands, if their argument becomes too overwhelming, one slap in the face, he knows you got hands, isn't it? But there are so many things you believe in heaven, you believe in God, you believe in many things. Why do you believe? Simply because you have not become straight enough in your life even to admit what I do not know as I do not know. This is a serious problem. Whatever you do not know, you say, I believe. It is so human of you, so wonderful of you to see what you do not know as I do not know, isn't it? I do not know is a tremendous possibility. When you say, I do not know, genuinely within you, the longing to know, the seeking to know and the possibility of knowing becomes a living reality in your life. Otherwise, everything that you do not know, you believe. When you believe, it gives you instant confidence. Confidence without clarity is the most disastrous thing that has happened to humanity. Confidence. All kinds of idiots have confidence. When you don't know, at least you must have hesitation, isn't it? Huh? When you can't see clearly, you must have hesitation. When you can't see clearly, if you're confident, are you not a disaster? You are either a disaster for yourself or for everybody around you. So, this land was never ever identified with belief systems. This has always been a land of seekers. Seekers of what? Seekers of truth and liberation. Just now, yesterday I was at, the BHU in Kashi. You just see there, people are coming from all over the country and now all over the world. In search of what? Mukti. Freedom is the highest value. God has never been the highest value in this culture. All the people whom you worship are people who walked this land at some time, isn't it? And they were not superheroes. They did not drop from the sky or fly in the air or walk upon the water, nothing. Just same grind as you are going through, much more grind than you are going through. If you want to take the example of anybody, either Shiva, Rama, Krishna, whatever the main deities in the country, let's take Rama because he's always in political dispute. He's still in a real estate problem At the age of 17 or 18, he's been coronated as a king, rightfully, because whatever, those days his father and son. He marries a young princess. In a short while, some political situation, something goes wrong, and they're banished to a forest. Well, in your television, whatever you saw, or in some movie you saw Rama Sita doing honeymoon in the forest. No, it was an exile. Going to the jungle is not a picnic. Most of you may not know, I've lived in jungles by myself alone without any outside support. After 3 weeks, when I came back home, my mother would look at me, she couldn't recognize me because from head to toe, insect bites, this, that, you cannot be recognized. Especially if you take girls, when they come out after 2-3 weeks, you cannot recognize them because everything will be swollen, all kinds of things will happen to you if you live in the jungle. So taking a young wife and going, she's not a tribal woman, she's a princess, going to the forest was not picnic or honeymoon, it was an exile. As if that was not bad enough, the Sri Lankan people came and kidnapped the wife. Yes, happened, right? Now, he's a king after all. If one wife goes, he could have found a local solution. A king is entitled to have many wives, but one is gone, he could have found somebody next to him. But the man loves the woman so much. In those days, no GPS, you don't know where exactly Sri Lanka is located. Just him and his brother walk, I want you to imagine the walk from Ayodhya to southern India. Not a simple search. How many people will search for a lost wife 6,000–7,000 years ago, walking 2,000 plus kilometers? How many men would have done that? So, he walked and formed a Tamil army, then went to Sri Lanka, burned down a beautiful city, fought a war, killed hundreds of people, got back his wife. If a man has to do this, that woman should mean so much to him to do such an act, isn't it? Then he brought her back. Again he became a king, again something goes wrong, by then she's pregnant. See, a king's wife or a queen being pregnant means, it's not just a pregnancy, it's the future of the nation. It is a big thing, it's not a small thing. And he's a big emperor by then. But something goes wrong and he sends his wife to the jungle, again. No sonogram, so doesn't know whether it's a boy or girl, boys or girls or what. It's not a small thing for a king. If he's going to be a son, it's important for the future of his everything. But he doesn't know, sends his wife away to the jungle. Then she delivers 2 boys, he doesn't know. If something really, really horrible has to happen in anybody's life, knowingly or unknowingly you kill your own children, this is the worst thing that can happen to you, isn't it? He almost killed his own children. He fought a battle with them, nearly killed. He had intent to kill, not knowing they're his children. Fortunately, it did not happen. But anyway, he never again saw his wife, she died in the jungle. You don't call this a success story, isn't it? Hello? You don't call this a success story. Then why are we worshipping this man? Why is this man celebrated as a great whatever? Simply because no matter what life threw at him, most people would break if one of those situations happened in their life. He is a serial disaster. But in spite of all this, he did not become angry, he did not become resentful, hateful, he managed his balance all the time, did not withdraw, active, doing the best he can, and that's about it. And after he came back from Sri Lanka, he did something fantastic. After having killed Ravana, he wanted to take a year of penance in the Himalayas. Lakshmana, his brother said, "Are you crazy? You killed the man and we had to kill him, he took his wife, your wife. So why do you have to do penance for that man?" He said, "See, he had 10 qualities. The 9 qualities I killed, I have no regret. But he was also a great devotee and I killed that also along with everything else. For that I have to do penance." Because the man is free from whatever is happening around him, you throw the most horrible things at him, he is just who he is. This freedom is called Jivan Mukti. It is for that freedom that we bow down to him, not because he's a great hero, not because he's a great success. So, in this culture, the only valuable thing is that you attain to freedom from the process of life. What life throws at you is never your choice. It will throw all kinds of things at you. What will you make out of it? This is your choice, isn't it? So we always told you in this culture, never in this… Now people are beginning to say this Uparwala business. Otherwise, in this culture, we always told you, your life is your karma. Yes or no? What does it mean to you? It simply means your life is your making. Nobody up there sitting and managing your life. Well, you're on a round planet and the damn thing is spinning, you don't even know which side is up. Hello? Do you know which side is up in this cosmos? I'm asking you. Is it marked somewhere, this side up? So you do not even know which side is up, but you know who is up. This is a serious problem. No, it's not a laughing matter because it's taking lives. It's taking lives does not mean people are being killed, that's also is happening, that's a different matter. But it's taking lives because instead of creating your life, you're looking up and walking. When forever we told you, your life is your karma, what you make out of it is all there is. What is thrown at you is not in your hands, what you make out of it is 100% yours. So the idea is just this, the fundamental ethos of this culture is not religion. This is a godless country, I want you to know this. There never been the god up there. We worship a few people. It's very appropriate, today people are saying Tendulkar is cricketing god. Whoever excelled in any aspect of life, beyond a certain point, which we considered is normal human being, if somebody excelled, then we say, oh, he's godlike, he's a deva. This word God as a supreme entity never has been here. Here we are always talking about those who have excelled beyond what we normally consider as human, as devas. That's why we have 36 million gods and goddesses. You must create more, there's no problem. Because after all, this is the only and only culture on the planet which understands God is our making. Everybody thinks they are God's making. Right now, Vinayak Chaturthi celebrations are going on around the country. See, this is a classic example. where we create the god, we will put him there. Next 10 days or 1 month, whatever, our entire life is around him, full emotion, bhajan, dance, music, whole thing. But when the time comes, we go and dissolve him in water. We made the god, we worshipped him, we enjoyed it, we enthused ourselves in a big way using him. When we are done, we dissolved him. This clearly shows you we have an innate understanding God is our making, isn't it? So, here we have only had a spiritual process, variety of spiritual processes, but never religion. We became religious in competition. When outside forces came and too much competition, we are also trying to organize, but you can never organize this culture because if there are 3 people, there are 5 opinions. Within the same house, there are 10 gods. How do you make a religion out of that? No, this is just a process. You use everything for your emancipation, for your liberation. If you listen to the conversations of your mothers or maybe your young people, your grandmothers, not some spiritual conversation, daily conversation if you listen to it, without uttering the words karma, prarabdha, mukti, moksha, there's no conversation in this country. Constant reminder, no matter what you're doing, your education, your family, your business, your spirituality, everything is only towards your liberation, always. Freedom is the highest goal, not heaven, not God.
Sadhguru, you leave us with a lot of thought to ponder upon. We take this opportunity to thank you for taking out your precious time to be with the youth of JNU for this wonderful conversation that we have with you today evening. We also extend our thankfulness to Mohit Chauhan for his scintillating performance. I'm sure we all loved it. And Isha Samskriti for their Kaleri performance.
Can I just say a few words to it? I'm okay. I would like to take this opportunity to just remind all of you, you're just, as you said, 8,000 people, 5,200 in research and others in other kinds of studies. But I want you to understand, you are just a few privileged ones among millions of youth in this country. You have this privilege of being in a premier institution like this. The kind of facility and what you have here, most people in this country don't even dream about it, okay? So, for yourself, see, you must understand this. The most important thing when you're young to do is, don't be in a hurry to live. This is a time to build yourself, to build your body, to build your mind, to build your perspective, to enlarge and enhance the horizons of who you are. This time of your life should be invested in that because, as I said earlier, it is only by producing great human beings that we can create a great society, a nation and a world. So, it's my wish and my blessing that all of you should make use of this time at the university to enhance yourself as truly wonderful human beings who can contribute to the well-being of humanity in future. Thank you very much.